Hello traders, today we're going to be analyzing the market for Tuesday, June 29th. Yesterday we quickly analyzed the Nasdaq and the S&P 500, and I invite anybody who wants a specific stock analyzed to leave the ticker in the comment, and I'll cover it in tomorrow's analysis. So first, today we're going to start with the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq once again made new all-time highs. It continues to show overbought on the long-term RSI. We're looking at a daily chart. We also got there on lower volume, which is interesting and important as well. Typically this is a bearish signal when you have new highs on lower volume. That's typically looked at as a bearish signal. We also briefly touched the top Bollinger Band and kind of bounced back off of that today, but it's not currently above the top Bollinger Band, so it's still within the range. And then we're also at the top of a channel, and so what I'm looking for is a trend break with this. Currently we have a pretty steep trend and triangle forming, so it's kind of trading within a tightening range. And we're looking for one of these top or bottom support or resistance lines to break, and then we could see a larger move down for a short-term correction. So that's kind of what I am seeing with the Nasdaq, and even on the weekly time frame, still very close to showing overbought, which is pretty rare for such a long-term chart. And once again, it's just at all-time highs, so just something to keep in mind. And this could happen, you know, any week now, any day now. I think sometime in the near future. This is the S&P chart, so it looks very similar to the Nasdaq. There are some key differences. So this is the weekly chart, so this is actually represents 3 years of data and candlesticks, and you'll see we made a very small candle today. This could potentially be a doji signaling it's a bearish doji, signaling that there could be a correction in the near future. Also, look at this volume. This is incredibly low so far for the week, even though we're making new highs. We also have a divergence on the RSI, so the RSI peaked pretty much right here for this run up, and yet we made higher highs with a lower RSI. This is what's called an RSI divergence, and it pretty much, you know, looks like this when you can draw your trend line and it goes down even though the price is going up. So there's a divergence in momentum, and this definitely could be very useful information. So let's switch it over to the daily chart and see what we get. On the daily, it's looking a lot less overbought. We see the RSI is currently at 62, which is kind of high, but it's not too high. We have our brand new all-time high, which was made today. Similar type of doji candle, and also on lower volume. So that's a big indicator. So very similar to the Nasdaq, but not quite as bullish. Looking at gold, we are reaching a short-term oversold condition, and we have a very interesting doji candle here, which could represent a reversal to the upside. This could happen, you know, sometime this week, sometime next week, or next month, but I think we're getting close to the short-term bottom of gold. And we also have the MACD getting very close to crossing, which once these cross, it would be a bullish indicator, and this is also a lagging indicator. So you'll see price action happen before the actual MACD cross. And then lastly, we can look at oil, which is pretty much opposite of gold, and as you can see, it's pretty much very close to all-time highs. We're overbought a little bit under 70 on the RSI, and pretty much the opposite of gold, which is to be expected. So that's analyzing the markets today. I'm mainly following the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. I like to watch gold and the dollar and lumber and some of the commodities. But I think the main thing that we're all interested in is the stock market, and the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 are the pretty much the biggest components and indices of the stock market. So I want to focus on that. Overall, to summarize, I think the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 are getting very close to being overbought, and that there could be a small or short-term correction in the very near future. So that's today's video. Drop a comment if you want me to cover something specific tomorrow. Other than that, thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we'll talk to you soon.